Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching us from. Thank you for hopping in today. Thank you for all my followers who have been following me the past few months. I'm so pleased and honored today to have a very special guest on my heart. I have the digital business owner, Saria Haydar, with me today. She is an online coach and mentor. She is actually my personal coach, and she is the reason I'm here today and running this successful business. So today we're going to have a chit chat with her. She is originally from Lebanon, currently living in Canada. She is a mom and a wife, and she's successfully running this business. Saria, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. The pleasure is mine, Sally. I'm very honored, and it's the pleasure actually is mine to be on your page. And we were talking before going live how much I love having you as a business partner and how much quality you offer to whoever is gonna work with you. So thank you for having me, Sally.
Thank you.
And thanks for everyone who's watching. I'm Saria. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I am a full-time office administrator here in Canada, originally from Lebanon, and I am a digital business owner. It's been more than a couple of years now running this business, and it was really a blessing and life-changing. And we're here today to talk, me and Sally, and maybe we will inspire someone or answer some questions. So thanks, Sally, for having me.
Thank you, Saria. Thank you. So we all know, of course, that before starting this business, you already have your offline business in different countries before. So
Yeah.
now, after running your online business and after starting this journey 2 years ago, how can you compare the offline business to the online business in terms of time commitment, in terms of the efforts that you need to put in terms of the return on investment and all that stuff, since you've
Amazing.
done them both?
I love this question, Sally. Actually, yes, Aladdin and I, my husband, actually, we run this business, me and my husband, Aladdin, and we, before immigrating to Canada, we moved to different countries, and that's really was enriching. We started our business in Lebanon, then we went to Dubai and we expanded to China, and it was really doing great. It was amazing, an offline business for sure. And then when we started having kids, we had to make the decision of immigration, for the better future for our kids.
Yes.
So we had to sacrifice a very, very, very successful offline business in China, right? We couldn't transport it with us. It was really a hard decision, but we had to make our family a priority. And then that gave us a lesson that if I want to put efforts and work hard on something or grow something, we have to switch our mindset to look into in the online space, even though we had zero experience, even though we are newbies, right? But we believe that there should be a way, right?
Yes.
Talking about efforts and talking about time, Sally, and talking about return on investment, time-wise, definitely it's not comparable because in a brick and mortar business, you have a very limited market, right? If you open in a
Yes.
physical location, you can reach out to this physical location. The clientele will be just people who live around you or nearby this physical location.
Yes.
And if you want to sell anything, it's gonna be, we have just 24 hours a day to put our offer. If you want to make calls or to talk to people or whatever, 24 hours a day to put your message. It's like you will have limited amount of person to offer this service or this product, right? While
Yes.
in the online space, due to the automation that we have, we can expose our offer or our service 24/7 in the global market, right? So it's
Yes.
not comparable. Yeah, like the sky is the limit if you have a good product or a good service to offer. That's talking about time, and that's not consuming your time because the system, when it works on automation, it will does big lifting for you, right? So
Yes.
that's about time. Efforts, definitely there's efforts in anything that you can you have to establish. There is nothing that comes easy or get rich quickly scheme. But again, you're not limited to a location. You have a big responsibility when you own a business. You can't leave it to anyone. You have to be present.
Mhm.
Whatever, even if you need to go on a vacation and you are a business owner, you need to think how to securely leave this location without losses. While in the online space, you can take your business with you, right? So
And carry it with you anywhere.
exactly, and that's the beauty of the flexibility. Talking about the return of investment, all depends on actually, Sally, uh, the opportunity itself. Like, for example, if I can compare, if I want to start a business here in Canada, everyone knows, or in the States where you live, Sally, the overhead are huge, right? The rental, the hiring people, preparing the decorations,
Insurance.
right? Insurance, everything is costly, right? So it leave you with a very, very little margin of profit. It wasn't the case for us in China, because in China the overhead wasn't that huge like here, right? So
Yes.
it depends on different factor, but generally speaking, definitely the online space, the expenses are less. You're not, you don't have rent to pay, you don't have employee to pay, you don't have, all these, taking care of your location
Expenses.
and decorating and repairing and whatever. It's very limited. So the margin of profit that will be left after you put the expenses is gonna it's really high.
It's
So
gonna be
it's not,
higher.
yeah, definitely it's not comparable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And have you always had this entrepreneur mentality, or you had to switch? Because I know you're still an employee, and we all are, like, especially
Yeah.
like just very few of us start as like a full time in their digital business. So all of us like start from being an employee. So have you always had this entrepreneur mentality, or you just grew this over time?
Well, honestly, I am raised in a house. My father is himself is an entrepreneur, is a business, was always a business owner. So I was raised already seeing that, living that in our house. But when I graduated from university, it was more like I have to learn from others. I have to go work and chase a promotion, and grow in a big company, just to prove myself, like, I'm successful. I
Yeah.
I I had the dream of, having something for me, but I didn't expect that it will start early with me, right? I thought it's gonna take me more years, and it took me. And thanks for Aladdin, my husband, who really has this, this
Mentality.
mindset of business owner. He pushed this whatever I have on an early stage, right? He pushed
Mhm.
this on an early stage, and honestly, what you can earn, Sally, for working for yourself, like when we were working in Lebanon or Dubai or China or even here, when I came to Canada, I had also my own spa, right? So I know what you can gain when you work for yourself. You will be your own boss or a business owner. So I had it, yes, but I choose to work, and yeah, I'm still an employee. When I came to here, I found that it's really hard. The overhead are huge, and if I'm gonna start any business, that means I have to commit my time.
Yes.
And for me, time was number one priority, because again, we have to travel to check after our parents. I didn't want to be, it's not like you're building a business that's gonna consume your time, and you're in your home country where you are surrounded by your extended family, right? I thought, okay, if I'm gonna invest all these huge amounts, any business here in Canada, like not less than 150,000 or 200,000 to start, right? An
Yes.
offline business. So when you invest those amount, that means you have to commit time and make it happen, and no one can do it for you. So it's a big commitment. So I thought to myself, no, you know what? I'm gonna work in a school. It gives me time flexibility already, because we have Christmas break and summer break, and I'm gonna find something that doable along with my case, that I can grow it while still working, and then decide for myself what really I know I want from life. And I enjoy working for now, because it gives me time of flex also to go out. I'm a very social person, so to meet people on a daily basis, to just be around people, not just with the laptop 24/7.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's really smart that you can have both. Like, you can have your business running alongside another job, and you just have the flexibility. Like, if you want to give it up, at least you have the flexibility, and you have to, like, work your time around your job. Like, it's not like that's taking out of
Exactly.
your online business. So that's really smart that you can keep them both. Like, yeah, just good for you.
Exactly. That's amazing. I wasn't expecting, actually, when I started. We were talking, like, my coach that time was talking about a couple hours a day, and I'm like, I don't think so. But you know what? It's been a couple of years, and I'm working with more than 50 people now, and still, a couple hours are enough for me. So I'm still holding on my, stable income. It's a blessing to have this system. It's really a blessing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like in 2 hours, like when people think, okay, like 2 hours, like I don't have even like when I run my business, like I don't have to have the 2 hours like as one shot. Like, I split them. Like sometimes I check, like, if I want to send emails or like check something before I go to work. And then I have my lunch break. I can just catch up on any messages or anything. And then at the end, when you go home, you can like literally just work for an hour. So it's not
totally.
that hard. But many people start that they have think that they have to be dedicating like 2 or 3 hours and they're just not doing anything. If you split them throughout the day, you can work around it, and that's the
Yes,
beauty of it. I
not
have
at all. Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it takes you 5 or 10 minutes. It takes me 5 or 10 minutes during my lunch break. I'm like just eating, scrolling on my phone, and then I'm helping someone or I'm closing a deal, right? It's not
Yes,
more than that, but if you collect the time during the day, it's gonna be a couple of hours, but it's around your schedule. So that's amazing.
that's the beauty of it. Salam Najat, thank you for tuning in. So Saria, so now like your group is bigger. Like I'm part of your group, and now you're managing around like maybe 50 digital business owners, and it can get really overwhelming and sometimes can get out of the hook. So how do you keep yourself like on track, and how do like how does the automation benefits you?
That's a very good question. Being organized, number
Yeah.
one, it's really important. And being like when you work in administration, your brain will be programmed. You're very you're very
Yes.
organized.
Time management.
Yeah, exactly. And alhamdulillah, I was capable I'm lucky to have a group of people that they were we established this bond. They click together. We work as a team, like all for one, and this is very important. Um, as a coach, I believe that leading by example is the way to help anyone, because if you set the good example, you will pave the way for people, to follow the steps, or to see, what to succeed, right? And
Yes.
when you're available and you're present, like I feel like building the link between those people, it's hard because we work all together as well. I'm not, this I owe this success for those people as well, right? So that helps time wise, and the automation on the back end is holding all the communication for me. I don't have to worry about writing emails. I don't have to worry about uh, going one on one for people, because as mentioned, we expose our service, we advertise globally, right? So I can't manage, even if I'm the super organized woman, without
Yes.
this automation, right? So there's a big part that the system takes care of it, and I'll do the rest, which is being present for myself and for others to help and grow together.
Yes. Perfect. And now, for like you've been a coach for quite a while now, and I know that anyone in our team, any member who have like a buyer, they usually book the coaching call with you, of course. So, what kind of like the main objections or like the main fears of the buyers when you have them on the coaching call, that they are kind of like interested in the business, but they are afraid, or like they have obstacle or whatever it is. What are the main one or two things?
Yeah. Well, Sally, oh my God, I love your questions. It's the internet is really new. Like it's not been a long time, right? And unfortunately, there is bad and good things in it, right? There is people who came. There's a lot of people who talk to me that they unfortunately got scammed with another opportunities promoted, or and they didn't do their due diligence in the appropriate way to distinguish the what's appropriate, what's legit from what's a scam, right? So they come skeptical and scared of the online space itself, right? But
Yes.
uh, on the other hand, we have all the tools in the online space to search anything, to search if any website is secure, if the payment is secure. For us, for example, people who join us can pay when they take the next step after watching the webinar through PayPal, right? PayPal, everyone knows that PayPal is secure the payment for anyone.
Trustworthy. Yeah.
So if it wasn't a community with a good reputation, we wouldn't be able to connect with PayPal, right?
Yes.
I understand those fears, and also the second fear that they have, changing the currency. The change is always fearful, right? Like
Mhm.
we get so relax in our comfort zone. And like, if you want to change your current, I know that you are an HR professional, right? Maybe you will
Yes.
see a good opportunity out there, and then you see, oh, that's look lucrative. Let me check it out. But what if? What if the boss is not good? What if I will not master the new skills? What if, there's some fears that hold you maybe from applying to another opportunity, or even in marriage, right? Or like, we're taking this step. What if this guy is not good? We always, when we start anything new in our life, any new life event, there is fear. And here the same.
Yes.
People come with fear, like, how do I guarantee that I'm gonna succeed, right? How I'm gonna guarantee like I'm gonna get your results, right? But honestly, we all have the tools, the same training, the same tools, and it takes just this first step. Like, for me, for example, I love to go to the gym. I know that I have to do sports, but sometimes it takes me, oh my God, oh no, I would love the feeling of staying with my coffee cup, and watching a movie. But when I just push myself a little bit, put my own running shoes and put my, outfit, and then go to the gym, I feel so good about it. Oh my God, I needed that. It's distressed me. I feel like energetic, right? It took me
Yes.
just one decision. So that's what I mostly face. And I tell people, you know what? Ask yourself, if you're fearful, ask yourself, okay, how this fear has helped me in the few past years, and how it's gonna help me in the few coming years, right?
Yes.
If you find the answer, I think you will find the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
because the people is the only, like, the human being joining is the only variable in the equation. Everything
yes,
else is the same. I remember on our coaching call before I started, like, I asked you one question. I told you, Saria, what is it that will make me fail in this business? And you didn't even think twice. You told me, you are the only
yeah,
reason your business gonna fail if you didn't, put the effort or the time in it or the passion in it. You are the only reason. Everything else is sets you up for success.
definitely, definitely.
So, yeah, and what is like your secret recipe for succeeding? Like, I mean, there is bunch of skills out there that we all have to, like, I'm still like few months in the business and I'm still overwhelmed with the change and like even my personal development, but there are quite few skills that are really crucial. So what is your secret recipe, you as a person? What are, like, if you get to pick like two or three of these skills that stands out for you?
Well, Sally, I am a person. When I want something, I put something in my mind. I want it. I never give up first. Like, I believe in anything in life. If there's anyone who could succeed in anything in life, there is no way someone else cannot succeed. They just not need to learn the skills. I'm not that person that believes in luck, right?
Mhm.
Even those who win the Lotto Max, if they didn't buy this ticket, they won't win this Lotto Max, right? They took
Yes.
action, right? There's no luck in anything in life. Well, oh my God, okay, I'm not. This thing is not working for me. It's my bad luck. And I don't cry on that. I don't sit and cry. I always address. I accuse myself. Okay, Saria, it's not working. What's your next move? What's your lacking on? What are you willing to do to figure out what's you're lacking on? And I keep trying, and I fall, and then I stand back, and I fall, and I keep trying until I find. And this is how you learn from your
Yes.
mistakes, right? In everything in life, you don't have to give up. If you have big dreams, if you have to pursue something, and create something from yourself, you need to fall and fall, because with every failure you're going to learn something that will grow you as a person, and you will avoid those in later steps in life, right? So
Yes.
I don't give up. I try to work on myself, and I'm still working on myself, and I believe no one knows it all, right? We all lack on knowledge.
Of course.
We need always to educate ourselves, and I keep trying, and I follow people who inspire me. I watch them closely. I try to find what's in there, those skills that they worked on. Those people who paved the pace for the path for me as well, right? I follow that path, and then I get what I put into it, right?
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's a perfect combination, actually. And just even I even learned, I've never had a mentor in my life before. Like before joining this business, I mean, I would look up like maybe to my parents as role models, but that's pretty much it. Like, but jumping into this business, like, and you have a lot of successes and a lot of, like, successful business owners, and you just like you pick who you want to follow closely, or
Yeah.
like like having as a mentor, like just seeing them succeeding and like what are they doing to reach
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It's really like, yeah, it's I think it's just amazing to have this opportunity, and you can just be that close, and you can see their work, and you can see,
Yeah.
because on our group, like you can see all of their achievements. So
Yeah.
that's it really blows my mind.
Yeah, and because we are human beings, Sally, we always have, anyone, even successful people, had moments where their self doubt. What is it? Us? Is it we did something wrong?
Yeah.
Sometimes you blame yourself in any situation. So the mentor is there to remind you that you're capable, you're awesome, to clean the space for you. You clean this mass that you sometimes create in your brain by your self talking,
Hmm.
uh, to put you on the right track again. It's
Yeah.
really helpful, and we're not limited to one mentor and coach. We are like we are lucky to have this community. Like every week, we connect with those entrepreneurs who share their tips, their tricks, and we learn from them. They are coaches as well. They are experts in this field, so that's why we are unstoppable, Sally.
Yeah, we are unstoppable. I
Yeah.
agree. Hi, Noel. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Sorry, I just had one last question for you. Like, knowing that you are busy mom of three and running this digital business, and a full-time employee, like, so how does like a typical day in your life looks like? Like, what do you do? We just need people to see like that it's really doable by any normal person, even if you're a mom and you're busy and you have, especially that you're an immigrant too, like you don't have, as we said earlier, you don't have your family around, like your mom or your sisters, or like family members to help you. You're still capable of running this business successfully. So how does a typical day in your life looks like?
Well, I'm an ordinary people like everyone, right? Right. Morning time, I assure that I prepare everything before going to work, and I check on my business like maybe 10 to 15 minutes before leaving the house, just to see if there's anything that need an urgent action, just to help someone there, and then go to work, spend my day at work. Uh, then during I try to organize myself to finish as much as possible while I'm outside of the house, because time also with my kids is really really precious, right? So
Yeah.
during my lunch break, sometimes I just check on my business, I follow up on stuff like that,
Hmm.
and that will reduce the amount of time that when I come back to my house, like today, like I have this beautiful go live with you, Sally. It's part of what I do for my business, right?
Yes.
So that's what we've been like 20 minutes, and then once done, I'm done for today, right? I will spend the rest of the time with my kids. So I try to combine everything together in order to have some time when I come back with my kids, because this is what counts the most at the end.
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest whys for everyone who has family. Like, it just,
Yeah,
they wanted the time flexibility, and as you said, the time that we spend with our family, like our parents, our kids, our spouses, it's really precious.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
totally. And that's what brought us, and that's the most common reason, Sally, when I talk to people, um, fathers or mothers online, on the coaching call, the most common reason is being tired of this cycle. We all run after one income or two income, and still not enough. The life is really demanding, and
mhm.
we feel like we're missing on those time. And people really want to, especially after the pandemic, they really want to stay on, to work online and stay with their family. They value, because they saw with the first first pandemic, all the employers laid, even if they was the most competitive person in the company, they being glad of people,
Yes.
big for companies like Microsoft, or like the biggest company, led off people who are really qualified and generates really high income. They didn't doubt twice to to take the decision out. Within hours, they just informed people, sorry, we don't need your service anymore. So
We are just numbers, Saria. When
exactly,
we work for
exactly.
an employer, I mean, it's not like we do, it's not like there's no value in our jobs. There is a value, and I'm sure everyone does something or serve others, like we
Yeah.
serve the community. But still, at the end of the day, they look at their, like, like their profits. If they
Yeah.
see they are hit, you are just a number. They would look at like
Yes.
laying off the employees, furloughs, or like that stuff. So there is no, for me, COVID was the big eye opener that there
Yeah,
is nothing called job security.
yeah, yeah.
Do I
True.
like what I do? I like what I do, but I know it's not 100% secure for me until I retire.
Yeah, yeah, and the power, Sally, in what we're doing, the power of community, because Aladdin tried before starting this online business. He tried Amazon, and they was really totally against it because I saw how much time consuming it was and how much you're relying on the platform itself. I'm not saying that Amazon is not great, but the percentage of people who are earning big amounts from Amazon are maybe 2% or 3%. Those who are the people who are doing great, and it takes a lot of efforts, and you're always connected to that platform, meaning that you don't have this networking with your clients. Okay, the clients go through this platform. You can't build a long-term relationship with those clients uh, at all, and you're always connected to the supplier, meaning that if the supplier doesn't ship on time and you have no stock, whatever efforts you put in your business and you build it, you're gonna lose it one day. Add to that, if this platform decide that one day this product is not allowed to be sold on our website, your business is off,
You
right?
lose.
It's out of the
Yeah.
market.
Mhm.
And the algorithm, the way it works, you might be selling specific products, and then it will show on the page number 10, to people, because they always see the bestseller, right? So
Mhm.
the image is shiny from the outside, but when you go inside, it's really hard. Here in this business, the beauty of it, Sally, that you are connected directly with the retailer, and you are building a community. You are this network with your client. You have them for life. You're communicating one-on-one with them. And
Yes.
that's very powerful. That's not gonna stop only here.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
you're building life relations,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you see them grow, and like, and they empower other people, and whatever you pass down to them,
Yes.
they pass it on to their team. So
Yes.
that's amazing. Yeah, I've been looking into Amazon. I haven't done it, but before having this business, I was looking into it and just thinking about the hassle and like the logistics of having a product, and like just
Yeah.
the competition out there, and like even the refunds, like there is a lot
Yeah.
of hassle. Like some people are just like angry customers for no reason. They just
Yeah.
want to refund or I
Yeah.
said, like, no way, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
This is a hassle.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to make money out of it, it's just
Yeah.
that it's very time consuming, and it
Yeah.
demands a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're very blessed actually with our digital business, and we encourage people like fence sitters or people who just look at the businesses and just look from outside, and they are so afraid to not even to jump in. They are so afraid even to check it out.
Yes.
But just check it out.
Don't be
You've got nothing
afraid.
to lose.
We're real people. Look at Sally. She's here. She's an amazing mentor. She believed. I believed. We've been there. We've been like you. We've been watching other people, right, before taking action, before being in this community, before starting our online business. But we did our due diligence, right? And the webinar was free, so we watched it. We were serious. We didn't want information for free. That means we didn't reach to our to those people who were promoting the online business. Tell us what you're doing without doing our part and watching the webinar, because the webinar is 90 minutes, right, of your time.
Yeah.
So we can't summarize. When you communicate with Sally, she can't summarize 90 minutes in a brief message. You need guys to see, to decide, because it might even not for you, not what you're looking for. So why wasting her time on and your time? This is in respect of both time, right?
Yes.
Then after the webinar, even the to take action and pay the $149, it's an amount that give you a trial period for 30 days to see from the inside everything and decide for yourself if you want to start your online business. Sally will be your mentor. You will be in a great hands, and she will help you through your journey. And if you don't like the opportunity, simply ask for a refund. So absolutely nothing to to lose, but knowledge to gain, right?
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to thank you, Saria, so much just for having
Sally,
the
thanks.
time and making the time to be on my page. Like, really, I'm so grateful for that. And I was so happy to have you.
Hi,
And
thanks for having me.
you're welcome. And I wish you have a nice weekend and spending more time with your precious family. So, see you
Thank you so
again.
much. Same to you, dear. Enjoy it, and thanks for everyone who was watching. I hope that you could benefit from the information.
Thank you. Thank you, Saria. Have a great weekend.
Same to you.